Hi Family Church. Well, we're now into our second week of prayer and fasting, and I've got some thoughts I just want to share with you to encourage you today. And the thoughts are regarding the account of Mary and Martha, recorded in the book of Luke. As you may well know, Mary and Martha ended up becoming close friends with Jesus, and of course it was her brother Lazarus that Jesus later miraculously raises from the dead. But I want to read from Luke chapter 10, where this account is written. It says this: As Jesus and his disciples were on their way, he came to a village where a woman named Martha opened her home to him. She had a sister called Mary, who sat at the Lord's feet listening to what he said. But Martha was distracted by all the preparations that had to be made. She came to him and asked, "Lord, don't you care that my sister has left me to do the work by myself? Tell her to help me." "Martha, Martha," the Lord answered, "you are worried and upset about many things. But few things are needed, or indeed only one. Mary has chosen what is better, and it will not be taken away from her." You know, in this account, there's nothing actually wrong as such with what Martha was doing here, as Jesus, of course, certainly believed in servanthood and hospitality. But the point that Jesus was making here was that her sister Mary had chosen what was an even better option when Jesus is in your house, to sit at his feet and listen to the words of life that he had to say. You know, doing things for God is certainly something that we are called to do. Ephesians 2 verses 9 and 10 makes it very, very clear that we're created by God to do good works for him. But the foremost thing that God desires is you and all of you. In other words, an ongoing relationship. You know, developing our relationship or growing our relationship with God is so vital if we are to be all that God desires us to be, to become more and more Christ-like and to be more and more fruitful for him. And that's the thoughts I want to share around today about developing our relationship with God. So I'd really, really encourage you to use this 3 weeks of prayer and fasting to develop and grow your relationship. You know, regardless of how long you've been a Christian, there's always God's desire for that relationship to deepen and to grow and to develop further. You know, in our natural world, strong relationships are built on two different pillars. You know, whether it be a marriage, a parent-child relationship, or a friendship. And those two pillars are firstly, spending quality time together, and secondly, great two-way communication. And without either of those pillars, any kind of human relationship will not fulfill the potential of what it could be. You know, it's exactly the same with our relationship with God. If we desire to develop a stronger relationship with him, and remember that's always his desire, then our choice needs to be those two things. Firstly, to set aside time to spend quality time with him in his word and worship. And secondly, to have great two-way communication with him by us praying what is on our heart and then us listening to what he wants to say to us. Remember, Jesus commended Mary for making the choice to do both of those things well. I want to look at the book of James, where James says something interesting. This is James 4 verse 8, and he says this: "Draw near to God and he will draw near to you." So it's very interesting what James is saying here, is he's basically making it clear that the onus is on us to make the choice to draw near to him first. And as we make that choice to draw near to him, he then promises to draw near to us. Now, the English term, or a couple of words there translated as draw near, the Greek word that James originally used is the word engizo, and it has two different but connected meanings. And it means to draw near to, or to approach, or to join one thing to another. So as we make the choice to draw near to God by spending quality time with him in his word and worship and having great two-way communication through our prayers and listening to his voice, as we make that choice, he then promises to draw near to us. And as he does that, our hearts are joined with him and we are strengthened in our relationship with him. You know, I think that's incredible. So I just encourage you to use this time of prayer and fasting well to grow and develop your relationship with God. And as you do that and make that a priority, you'll be amazed at how you'll feel and know him drawn close to you, and he will speak words of life and encouragement directly into your heart. God bless.